live drum practice. We're working on Head Over Heels. This is part 5. We're working on these two, what I consider the hardest measures of the song. A lot of the rest of the song is very straightforward. Just so we're spending time on the hard fills. I'm working on this for some people as well. If you guys want to support these videos or become a member, if you guys like sheet music, become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com or mbtmpro.com. You get sheet music, and you support us making videos like this. If these videos are good, if they're bad, then you probably don't want to support us making more of these. Or the alternative is you support us making these, and these videos get better, and we help you guys learn what you guys want to learn. A lot of different options. So it's Monday. It's 8:20. I haven't touched this since yesterday, so we're just going to kind of warm up. I'm going to do it without the hi-hat first, and just kind of get the idea going again, and we'll go from there. Let's just break it down again. I've probably broken this down a couple times, but 1 and I'm going to do this breakdown without the hi-hat as well. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Now that gives me an idea to actually start a little bit slower because I can really think through those kicks, those 16th note kicks. So let's try. This might be a little too slow, but let's try 40 BPM and just see what we think. So, and if I'm grooving, I'm going to start putting those hi-hats back in, but they kind of throw my rhythm off a little bit, so we'll see. 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 1 and 2 E and I was rushing that too. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 'My brain froze. So you got to choose how picky you want to be, especially when we're doing like 40 BPM. You can hear I'm just rushing that 2 all the time. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Now, I really like to work on songs to help my rudiments, to help the exercises. So right now, working on not rushing through that metronome, right? If I want to track this later on, that's going to be a valuable skill. Getting these 16th notes to just be smooth on the kick drum. So all those little things. Let's try to put those hi-hats in. 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 'So really working on not rushing that. You know, one of the reasons I took those hi-hats out before, it would always make me. I would change where I close that hi-hat. It's not a foot hi-hat that's happening on the snare beat, which is how I just played it. It's more right. It's on the end. 2 E and 2 E 2 E, which is nice because you kind of get that ring out. Happens on Back in Black as well. Oops. 2 E and 2 E and 2 E and 2 E and 2 E and. Two E and 2 E. So struggle bus a little bit. Just very, right? That's very natural to do. Just to want to close my left foot at the same time. So one of the things that I'm fixing or resolving right now is learning how not to do that. And 3E and 4. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Keeping it slow for a minute. Just really trying to work that out. I'm going to do a couple without the open hi-hats and then with open hi-hats. And 2E and 3E and 4 and. So if you follow along and you get this beat down, you're really going to help develop your left foot. And you can tell that mine needs some developing. But it's probably just another nice long practice like today, another hour long something, which is a lot. I get it, a lot of time to work on one thing, but I'm here. It's going to pay dividends on other songs. So kind of the same thing. Do it without the hi-hat. Opens and with the hi-hats opens and all that good stuff. 1 and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1 and 2E and 3E and now hi-hats. So you see that my foot is telling me when to hit the snare is telling me when to hit the foot, and it's not supposed to be that way. 1 and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1 and there we go. So sometimes it throws my rhythm off when I hesitate a little bit on my left foot. You know, I'm sure we could come up with an exercise too that would like solidify that idea, and we're doing it via like doing it really slow, speeding it up, adding these other things. That 16th note kick, being prepared for that, all of it kind of helps. You know, it's faster ways to get to everywhere, but 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and couple in a row. It's not easy for me. You can probably tell that. All right, let's just keep doing what we're doing. We only have to get to 95, which isn't bad. I feel like I'm pretty tight now playing it without the open hi-hats, so it's good, at least, right? 1 and 2E and a 3E and a 4 and. And a 4 and 1. So every once in a while the left foot's rushing. I'm not going to make too big of a deal about it because it's coming along. Sorry. Probably don't need to do an audio commentary every time I stop, but force of habit. 1 and 2E and a 3E and a. And 2E and a 3E and a 4 and. So sometimes you just need to like push and power it through, and that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, 3E and a 4 and 2E and a 3. That 3E and a 3E and a 4. 1 and 2E and a. Nope. 1 and 2E and a 3E and a. Kind of feels like you're threading a needle just between that beat, right? 2 E and 2E and 2E and 2E and 3E. Just giving that right amount of space, not rushing it. And as we get to faster tempos, it's going to be hard for me to do. Let's do 58. All right, and then we're gonna go until I get, I know I'm already playing pretty sloppy, but until I get really sloppy, then I'll work on the other drum fill. Then I'll come back at this and end it with just this measure over and over again because it just needs a couple more days. I do like this approach to a passage though, and I know just a one measure passage is very, very short, but I'm doing this for a student wants to work on the song. So, it makes sense for me to get this right and do a track for them. And it makes my life so much easier when I spend an hour on this and then I go teach something like this or like the Back in Black or even the American Girl by Tom Petty has a similar 16th note kick drum pattern. All this stuff just makes you a better drummer. So the other day I spent like an hour or maybe an hour 10 on just this measure and the other two, and it's just like, whoa, that's a lot of time on one thing. It will make you a better musician and a better drummer. I might be justifying it for myself right now. That's why I'm talking. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and so I was thinking about putting those hi-hats in and it fell apart. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and it was happening. It was happening. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and it's not happening. 3 E and a 4 up close. And 1 and all right, even though that's still sloppy, we're going to keep speeding it up. Going for kind of like a sprint workout today. Just get it as fast as I can go, move on, come back to it. And it's getting tighter just without the open hi-hats. I mean, that's how I need to play it, but with the open hi-hats. And I would suggest anybody that's working on this, do that over and over again. Put the open hi-hats in and fail, much like I've been doing. Then go back to closed hi-hats, open hi-hats. Go back to this 16th notes on just the hi-hat. 4 and like this. And 2 E and 62. I know. Only up by twos, but it is what it is. I feel like if I go by fours, it's going to fall apart really quickly. One and two E and a three E and a four and one and. A lot of it has to do, and I know I've been saying this a lot, but this open snare. I mean, essentially I'm doing, which actually isn't that hard. I think it's just putting this, I mean, that's 100% what it is. As you heard me just. One and two E and three E. I just have to let my right hand lead. And again, as we go to faster tempos, it's hard for me to let my right hand lead. It's hard for me to just focus. Let's go 64. Did not let my right hand lead. All right, one more tempo change, and then we're going to move on because it's not getting better. Actually, I might push this all the way to 95 with just no hi-hats. That might help me as I slow everything back down. I mean, much less issues, right? Now, again, if I wasn't working on this for a student, I'd probably be at the point where this is the fifth one of working on both these. I feel like the drum fill from earlier didn't take me as long to learn. So at this point, I'd probably be like, shit, moving on, come back to this in a couple of weeks. But I'm kind of being stubborn because I want to get this done. My whole point is, like, you got to pick in your practice, like, okay, what do you need to accomplish today? For now, I have like an hour. I have an hour slotted for drums. This is the beat I'm working on. I don't care if it takes me an hour. try. All right, let's go 70. As I do this tempo change, I mean, every once in a while I'm going to try the hi-hats. I'm not going to focus on them, though. I'm going to more make sure that I get the beat. I'm having some good technique with my leg where I'm keeping it up the whole time. I'm choosing to do heel up on this one and 2 E and you saw what happened when I tried to put that in. All right, 74. At least I tried. Point for that. All right, it's getting sloppier as we go faster, which nobody's surprised by that. But we're just going to keep pushing. See how close to 95 we get. And you can see that I did even attempt the open hi-hats on that one because it was just going to train wreck me. I missed clicking my sticks even. So I think we're done with this section for right now. Now when I come back to this, I want to start at 65. I don't want to start all the way over. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That was pretty rough. That happens, though. All right. Now, on this other fill, I did get this up to full speed, which was 95. But today, I just really want to tighten it. One spot that I struggle with every once in a while is these 1E, where the foot's going 1E and a 2, or 1E and a 2, and 3E and a... So actually, to tighten that up, go 65, and we're just going to play this measure for a minute, and I'm going to go back and forth between hi-hat, toms, hi-hat, toms, and just really try to get that 16th note locked in. And a 4, and 1E, and a 2, and 3E, and a... One E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2. Now there, you can tell that by just going a little bit on that hi-hat, it lines me up. It forces me to hear that 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and a, and then 1E and a 2. Not like that though. 1E, 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and... also have to go slow enough that you can perceive the rhythm. So like 65 seems like a good tempo. It's not too fast, not too slow. 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. One E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a. All right, let's speed this up to 70, and then we're going to put this whole thing in context. It's also easy to rush, and a lot of this has to do with just like correct placement, being comfortable in the kit, which I'm averagely comfortable. I think I played that right. Yeah. You know, my hand's a little bit waiting to get there on that left. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E, 2 and. All right, let's try 70 and see how that sounds. Rushing quite a bit. There we go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and. That was a nice one. There were some good ones in there. There were some sloppy ones. It's sad that this beat is easier for me to play than the other one. And again, the other one is just that left foot, right? Being a little bit rhythm deaf as I am, just getting my left foot and my right hand to behave together. All right, 74. These two measures. Let's tighten this up. So it's interesting though. Sometimes if I read the sheet music, it messes me up more because there's that slight delay in the brain, right? But I know I don't have it completely memorized either. So I kind of go back and forth between like, okay, I'm looking at it, or I'm trying to just close my eyes and just listen and hear the part that I'm supposed to play. When I can close my eyes and listen, I can get the part way better. But I'll make other mistakes because I'll forget what I'm playing. The other thing is, it's very easy to lose focus. Maybe more so for me than other people. So just sitting there and like, this is a discipline that I'm trying to create. If I can do, if we're on drum live number 27, when we hit 270, I'm either going to be a really great drummer and help you guys out, or I'm just going to be shite. And those are the two options. There's probably nothing in between that. You know, I'm going to cultivate a skill, a discipline of like staring at the music, getting comfortable sight reading anything. There's a lot that I can cultivate by just doing that. That is the goal. Hopefully we get there before 270 though. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 E. Back to, I guess not back to, 82. We're going to get this all the way to 95, maybe to 97, 98, maybe even 100, and then we'll go back to that other measure and give myself a good 10 to 15 minutes on that. The measure that I suck at, you know. I often say that's like a 2 a day, right? Like we've hit that, we worked on it hard, we moved on, we left it, we let our brain rest, we let our foot rest a little bit, we come back to it, we spend 10 minutes on it, and then we do the same thing tomorrow. It's the quickest way to improve. It'd be ideal if I could do a morning practice and a night practice, but that doesn't happen. 90. Boom, boom, boom. Catchy. All right, we're just going to jump 95. No more fours. Cool. Let's go by twos. So 95 is full speed. We're just kind of like trying to solidify everything. Put a little pressure on it. And it's starting to go downhill. All right, let's go back to 95. Let's try to solidify that. We'll go back to the other measure and hopefully clean that up a little bit. And that will be the 3 hardest measures in this song. Now, I do love that that's coming together. What I dislike is I'm going to go back to that other measure and feel like a terrible drummer again or a terrible musician. You got to practice stuff you're bad at. That's how you get good. Wasn't able to play that a couple days ago. Now I can play that. So I have 2 different thoughts. One is thinking of that right hand, left foot connection. I feel like I need to practice that 100 times to just get that motion down. 2 E end, 2 E end, 2 E end, 2 E end. So again, just having my heel up for heel up technique, heel toe technique, heel up, heel toe technique. 1, 2, or 1 and 2 E and 3. So 2 different ideas, and I don't know which one I'm going to do. Probably do both of them, actually. Right now, I think I'm just going to jump in at 60, change my mind from 65, and try to get a couple good closed hi-hats, a couple open hi-hats, and just kind of go back and forth between that and be consistent. That's really what I'm aiming for right now is consistency. When I get up to 75 and I suck again, then I'm probably going to slow it down to 40, maybe even 35, and get this idea of 1. I'm actually going to ignore 1, 2, so I'd be like 1, 2, 1 end, 1 and then I'm going to go 2 E and, but I'm going to do it right. 2 E and 1, and this time I'm not going to do the kick. 2 E and 1. That's going to be slow and painful, but I think it'll help me solidify the idea of how they have to work together. We'll see. All right. Right there proves my point, though, right? Find something you're terrible at, do it twice. That's it. That's enough. That was tight at 60, which I probably played it tight at 60 before. We could rewind the tape and watch. I don't think we really have to. But the point is, by going back to this, didn't want to do that at all. Rather just push stop and move on. You know, it's solidifying these small technique things that you need to work on. It'll be a game changer. Let's see if I can do it again. I couldn't. And I can't do that now. So I already even gonna tell you I feel very off balance. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and So my small victory was short and small. All right. Let's keep pushing it up. I'm gonna try for closed hi-hats at fastest tempo I can get to, and then just throw it all the way back down to like 30. I'm gonna throw in an open hi-hat here and there just to see if I can, like, I don't know, start that engine. So it seems like I can only do it once. I mean, I could do it multiple times closed, right? But trying to do the open hi-hat just messes me up again. So, and right now, I'm just like, I'm going to live with a little bit of sloppiness in there. I'm going to live with the fact that that last one, or maybe the one before that, you know, the hi-hat, this closed hi-hat was rushed. I don't know exactly how it was. But, and then hopefully just by getting the mechanics down, eventually I put it all together. Hey, Tyler, you can tell I'm struggling with Head Over Heels, which when John wrote this out, he said it's probably a program drum set. And much like that drum fill, it's actually written on 4 toms. I transferred to 3. So my point is, if I'm struggling on Head Over Heels, Stu Copeland is a phenomenal drummer. And probably some stuff that I need to get into. I'm purposely, like I said a couple times, this is for a student. Yes, and I'm so bad, but I still teach, which is hilarious. I'm trying to pick drummers that I feel like might be in my range, or a song that I need to learn for somebody. Like I did American Girl. No, that wasn't completely in my range as a drummer, but it was, dude, for sure. You got to start somewhere. So I'm picking easy songs. I'm trying to build up, I would say, some confidence, some skill sets, some learnings, and go from there. So yeah, what do you play? Do you play drums? Or do you just like watching people be bad at drums? Because I can do that for a while. sometimes you just need a little break. You need to chat with somebody like Tyler and talk for 30 seconds to a minute to get a little bit of a rest. My goal is 2 lives a day on either guitar, bass, drums, or piano, and just do that over and over again. And by doing 2 lives a day, it's basically like going to the gym twice a day. It's my ambition to get big, strong, and not muscular, but to get good at this. Do this over and over again. Sweet, man. Bass guitar, awesome. Bro, if you have patience, you can watch me be really bad. You could probably learn this stuff quicker than I can, which is kind of like one of my advantages as a teacher. You know, Seven Nation Army is a song that I teach all the time. Doom, 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 doom. You know, in 5 minutes, I can get somebody going. Same thing with a kick. Same thing with that foot hi-hat. You know, and then all of a sudden they feel accomplished because they're learning drums. And then they go, well, what's the next song to learn? Well, then we teach them free falling. You know, all of a sudden you got 2 songs under your belt. You've learned how to read drums. You could read the notation, and you're just off and running. So, but a lot of this desire is for me to be not just a better drummer, but a better overall musician. I notice quite a bit that if I spend a lot of time on drums, all of a sudden I'll go play guitar. My guitar, guess what? I did all of this metronome stuff over and over again. All of a sudden my guitar playing is better. You know, there's still scales and songs I need to learn, but I don't know. You take some of the mystery away by focusing on a very rhythmic derived instrument or something like that. Still can't do that open hi-hat. So we're going to ignore that. We'll just get up speed. All right, 74. I set up to speed, but I might change my mind in 1 second. Actually, let's do 80. And then I'm going to do a complete slowdown and try to get some mechanical stuff done a minute. So 80 is going to push me. I don't think maybe I played this the other day. So just all those kicks are late. So 80 is not the right tempo for me, which is problematic because the song's at 95. Let's try 76. See if I can, muster something out. Those are all crap, but that's okay. We're going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work at all. What I'd really love to get down, the mechanical thing that I'd like to work on is 2 E and 2, and then 2 E and 2 E and I'm going to try to keep my foot up the whole time, so there'll be an exercise in that as well. So I'm going to always do 1 and 2 E and 1 and 1. All right, I think this will be a fix for me. It's just going to be boring and slow. I might do the kick all the time on the We'll see. 1 and 2 E and 2 E and and 2 E and 1 and so don't really care that I'm not perfectly with the metronome. I'm just aiming more for consistency here. So a couple things that I'm doing. Just really trying to think about after that open. So we got 2 E closed, 2 E closed. I just want to teach my right hand to follow my left foot or vice versa and trust it. Then I'm also keeping my leg up, you know, some good technique there. So it's a little bit of an endurance for me because I'm not the best drummer. And also when I lift this leg up, obviously I'm forcing my left foot down a little bit. Now, this is like zooming way into these mechanics on the drums. A lot of times, like I taught this kid who plays soccer. He's very natural. His feet really know what they want to do. Mostly his right foot, but I've seen him kind of like be able to copy and paste that into his left foot as well. For me, you can tell it's not very natural. I have to spend a lot of time on it. I have to overthink these things out, plan them out, plot them out, and then work on the tempo. So we got 1 and 2 E and 1 and all right, let's try 30. Now we're gonna go up to 34 to see if this is something. Oops. Only want 1 and 1 to 2. 2 E and 1 and and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and now, that exercise, or not even that exercise, but that mechanic, that movement is not possible for me to think about at 65 because that's when I start falling apart, right? So it needs to be done 100 times. And that kick was a little bit late. I can do it. 1 and 2 E and 1 and. Now, the good thing is I won't have to like do this all the way up to 95. I'll just have to do this over and over again, and all of a sudden, like, you know, I'll wake up in 2 days and just this foot and that hand will be tied together. So it's kind of also why I'm not just like sitting on these tempos for an hour. Being okay, moving on to something else. And 2 E and 1 and and 2 E and 1 and Try not to rush that. All right, we're going to keep going. By twos. Again, this is kind of like the day at the gym. You don't want to go. You just got to keep doing this. This little bit of an exercise for me. If you guys can already do this, great. You don't have to do it. If you're new to drums and want to challenge yourself, probably be a good exercise to learn. It's going to help you with your left foot. It's going to develop that stuff. And 2E and 1 and 2E and 1 and all right, 40. Also, if you're playing any instrument and you can make like a little exercise out of the song you're working on, it's the best thing to do. There's no reason in the world that I practice this entire song, especially when most of the beat is. I can play that. I can mostly play that in time as well. This clearly can't play. You know, spend the time on stuff you're bad at. Make that your session. This other stuff will come together. E and 1 and all right, we're going to go one speed faster. We'll go up to 44. We're going to call it a night on this part. Maybe we'll play the whole thing for fun. Okay, I was about to stop and be like, hey, you can already tell that I'm playing it with much more confidence and know where that rhythm is and really working on this foot. And then my brain wanted to say that, and at the same time I screwed up. Nope, not that fast. All right, that's what I have in me today for drums. So hope this helped somebody. It helped me. I'm getting better. Small increments, and sometimes we don't see it when we zoom in on stuff, and it's got to just sit, percolate, tackle it again tomorrow, and do more. So hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday night. If you guys want the sheet music, it's at our website, musicbythemeasurespro.com. Thank you guys.